All right, welcome back, y'all. As usual, you know how this goes. We are going to jump right into it today. Okay. I'm going to pull an oracle card and see what the overall theme for today is, and then see if we need to pull some tarot because lately the oracle cards have been doing their things. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to shuffle real quick and we're going to jump into it. I hope y'all have been really able to take in the last couple of messages and really sit with the information and the insights and gain some clarity. So let's see what we got on the board for today. What are the international guides and ancestors and messages do you have for the collective? What is that you need to know at this time? In alignment with what are you calling us to be at this time? Alright, we got two cards again. Wow. Alright, so we had two cards that popped out again this time. I'd be trying to only get one. And Spirit be like, but there's more. But there's more. Okay. So the two cards that we have, and let me know because in watching the videos back, I have been noticing that maybe it might be helpful for me to place an image of the card as I'm reading it so you guys can really take the information in. I already watered the plants, baby. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. So the first card that we have is New Choices, and it's number 255. And it says changes are indicators. Changes are coming and will bring new decisions for you to make. Your angels encourage you to greet these changes as assurance that your intentions are coming to be. Reflect on a negative emotion or worry that you've been ruminating on lately. Take time to visualize it withering into the universe and let it go. And the second card is 700, and it says originate. Your thoughts create your reality. There is bravery in wanting something in life. It can lead to disappointment, but your angels want you to take that chance. Wow, what is it that you want? They are sending energy to you so as to manifest your desires in your life. Your work today is to want something. Write a closely held desire on a piece of paper and put the paper somewhere safe, such as in a bedside drawer. And then underneath the deck, we have 501, unchain yourself, release the negative. There is space inside you being used to hold the bitterness of the past. Your angels implore you to keep the lessons, but to let go of the resentment. You don't need to feel bad in order to protect yourself from these things happening again. Take a moment now to visualize the anger you hold. Now picture yourself giving it back to the place or the person you received it from. Feel the freedom of not having to hold that anger any longer. Wow. So clearly, and you know, we do have a full moon in Scorpio coming up. I said a new moon yesterday, but it's actually a full moon in Scorpio. I think it's Friday, May 1st, is when the Scorpio full moon is coming. Is coming in, and Like I said yesterday, Scorpio energy is great for two things. It's really great for shadow work. And that could be what is being talked about in this moment, because shadow work allows us to uncover the hidden things that are laying within our subconscious. And with it being a full moon in Scorpio, our emotions, the past, the things that we have been holding on to that we refuse to acknowledge or address are being illuminated. And they are being illuminated for us to address them, for us to heal them, for us to move through the energy and transmute the energy and get the lessons that we need to get out of those experiences so that they can no longer hold us captive. Just like this Unchain Yourself is talking about, right? Your thoughts do create your reality. If you are walking around with perceptions and ideas about what you feel is possible for you based on previous experiences that you have had, that is the totality of the information that you are utilizing. But that's not all the information that's available, right? You are a culmination of the experiences that you have had. So, again, it's like I'm getting this image of like being on one side of the world and feeling like that is the only reality that exists, and not recognizing that there's a whole nother world. There's a whole nother country with other customs and languages and food and experiences and realities. And if you are only focusing on the experiences that you can see with your two eyes and based on the environment that is around you, or based on the culmination of the experiences that you have had, and making that the total framework of what your life could be, there is so much that you could potentially be missing out on by not expanding your consciousness, by not expanding your perception of what you believe is actually possible for you. Just because you haven't seen it done before doesn't mean that it's not possible. I didn't think it was possible to go live in another place for 6 months. I got to live in Puerto Rico for 6 months, and I didn't think that that would ever be possible for me. But I allowed myself to believe in the possibility of it. And even just opening up my mind a little bit allowed me to grasp hold of that intention and make it a reality for myself, right? So yesterday we were talking about, again, I don't know why these messages feel very progressive, but they do. So, hey, I'm here for it. Yesterday we were talking about writing down the vision, and also the quality of the desires that you hold within your heart and what it is that you want to manifest for yourself. A lot of times the things that we say we want are not necessarily the things that we want, but they're based off of a lot of times our desires are based on the external approval that we feel like we want to gain from other people. They're not truly based on our hearts and our soul's desires. So if that resonates with you, go watch the message from yesterday. And maybe you did. Maybe you sat with that notebook and you really answered the question of what makes your soul come alive. And you started really getting an idea of what that is. But again, if it's never been done before, if you've never seen it before, or you've never seen anyone close to you accomplish it before, it can feel like it's not available to you. And then those negative perceptions, those doubts start to creep in and start to tell you, you're just wishful thinking. You're just being hopeful. So what? How else are you supposed to make things happen? How many things do we have in this world that was once a part of someone's imagination or was an idea and now it's a concrete reality? Right? So don't limit yourself. Don't stop yourself from believing that what you want is possible just because you haven't seen other people around you do it or accomplish it. All the more reason for you to be the one, right? I want to get into these new choices. New choices. Changes are indicators. Changes are coming and will bring new decisions for you to make. Even asking yourself that question, what makes my soul come alive? Like, you opened up a door. You you by asking yourself that question, you opened up a portal to say, okay, am I living a life that makes my soul come alive? And having to confront that truth and recognize that you really aren't, and recognizing and going down the tunnel. This is that Scorpio shadow work that might be illuminating right now, and going down to the subconscious and being like, wow, how did I get here? How did I get to this life that I wake up every day and I just go through the motions because this is what is expected of me? How did I get here? And what do I do to change it? What's the first step? Right? So you might be asking yourself that question right now because you sat down and you really took a deep dive to say, what makes my soul come alive? And how do I make that a reality? What do I do? So let's see what these new choices are. I'm going to pull some tarot. What are my new choices? What are these changes? Woo. Two of Swords, baby. Wow, Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles underneath the deck. Two of Swords. You got some explaining to do. Lucy. You got some explaining to do. Alright, so somebody doesn't want me to be great. Because right when I pulled, it's every time I start to pull the tarot, the camera want to cut off. I think I ran out of memory though, so that's my bad. But the Two of Swords came out, right? Talking about these choices. The Two of Swords with the Page of Pentacles underneath the deck. So as I was saying, asking yourself those questions, what makes my soul come alive? You have to really recognize that this is a portal. There's a little, you just want to be on me, I guess. Okay. Asking yourself that question, it forces you to look at the places in your life where you're not making decisions in alignment with your soul's truth. And that can be a very harsh reality, right? But don't overwhelm yourself with trying to get to that bigger vision, right? Like, what's one small step you can take in that direction, and focus on that. And you'll start to build the momentum that you need to have in order to reach the end goal that you have for yourself. Also, this is giving me the energy of reflection. This Two of Swords is giving me this energy of reflection. You might need to take some time to go within, to cut out any external noise, distractions, anything you use to distract yourself at this time, anything you use for entertainment where you don't have to force yourself to look at what it is that you truly feel. Again, this energy of the Scorpio Full Moon keeps coming through. And on the Two of Swords, there is a crescent moon here. It's not a full moon, but it's really making me think about that energy of reflection and really sitting with yourself to be honest about what it is that you're feeling. Are there things that you're holding on to that are rooted in past experiences that are still shaping, are those beliefs still shaping the reality that you feel like is available to you now? You know, maybe at one point in time you had hope. Maybe one point in time you had that uh, that lust and zest for life, and you believed everything was possible. Especially with this page of Pentacles here, it's giving inner child healing. It's giving, like, at one point in time, you had the curiosity, you had the tenacity, you had the drive, the vigor, the desire to go after your goals and your dreams. And maybe you did get disappointed. Maybe there was an experience that discouraged you, and it has prevented you from taking any more leaps of faith. It has prevented you from having any hope about creating a different reality for yourself. If that's the case, I want to gently encourage you to revisit those experiences in your mind. What are the lessons that you can glean from those experiences? Because setbacks happen, challenges happen. A lot of times things don't turn out the way that we hope they do. But how can you approach it again with that childlike wonder and curiosity that you had before? How can you see the opportunity in the challenge and the setback? What is the wisdom? What is the medicine that you can gather from that experience that helped shape you, that helped you learn things about yourself that you wouldn't necessarily have gotten if you didn't go through that experience? I'm going to encourage you to shift your perspective and your focus from this thing happened to me and shift it. What would it feel like? Just humor me, because I know I have been there. When the story, when the narrative and the potency of that narrative and the emotions surrounding that narrative are so strong and so real and so visceral for you and your body, and you want to you want to hold on to that experience because it serves as a reminder of why you don't do things differently. I've been there. I know what that feels like. But just humor me for a second, okay? Just for a moment. All right? What if that situation wasn't happening to you? Can you open yourself up to the possibility that it was happening for you? And how would that, just that one perspective shift, how would that change the narrative that you are telling yourself about that experience and about what's possible for you now and about what's possible for you in the future? I know it's hard. It's very hard. It's very, very difficult to sit in the energy of discouragement and disappointment. If it can feel like you don't have anything left to give. And that one perspective shift is what has helped me muster up the strength that I needed in those moments to keep going, to keep pushing, to try again. What if this isn't happening to me? What if this is happening for me? And if it's happening for me, what is the medicine, the wisdom that I am meant to gain from this experience? And how can I utilize it for my highest and my greatest good? And just sit with that. That just we're gonna stop there because that in and of itself can be a lot. That in and of itself can be a lot. And if you can muster up the courage to ask yourself that question, what if this isn't happening to me? What if this is happening for me? If you really sit with that and really do a deep dive into that inquiry, it can allow you to release a lot of pain that you might still be holding on to. And the release of that pain can start to open up new doors and new possibilities for you that you didn't even know you could move towards. So that's the message for today, because that feels like a lot for someone. That feels dense. It feels dense. Take this full moon in Scorpio, because it's already going to happen, whether you like it or not. That's the beauty of astrology, right? The waters are already going to be stirred. The emotions of our psyche are already going to be stirred anyway with the energy of this Scorpio full moon. We're going to be in that space anyway. So why not utilize this time frame to maximize your healing and your forward movement by tuning out all the distractions. Don't go hang out with those people. Don't get on the phone with that person. Don't binge watch your favorite show. Don't go have those drinks. Don't go out dancing. What if you really just took this time that God orchestrated specifically for here and now to be present with the deep in you, to be present with whatever is coming to the surface that needs to be healed, that needs to be released? What if you just allowed yourself to be present with those experiences and ask yourself that question? What if that experience wasn't happening to me, but it was happening for me? And there's a caveat on this, okay? I'm not talking about violence against you, you know? Even with that, you know, the purpose of you asking this question is not to place self responsibility on yourself. It's to shift your perception in order to strengthen your self efficacy. So just sit with that. Sit with that today, because I think I'm going to lose my space again. My camera is blinking. But sit with that. Sit with that during this time and see what comes up. That's it, y'all. Until tomorrow. Okay?